So next up, we're going to switch over now. I just had put all of our candidates in here at random, drew them out of a hat for their placement. So next we are moving on to hear from Shaara Watts, who is running for delegate in District 29C. So Shaara, welcome.
Thanks, Julia. Sorry about that. Hi there. It's good to be here. First, excuse my lisp. I had tongue cancer last year. About me. I live on a creek with my 87-year-old mother, a crazy Dalmatian, two cats. There. Two cats and a tank of fish. I'm retired from more than 20 years of law firm experience in the environmental field and government systems consulting. Currently, I help with the family business and, of course, take care of my mother. In preparing for this, I asked myself, what is the most important issue facing us right now? My answer? Our identity as a coastal rural community is at stake. We need representatives that understand the risks we are facing as a community and are willing to fight for what we need. What we don't need is to become an industrial dumping ground. First, we got the nuclear power plant, then the LNG plant not 3 miles away. And now what? Data centers. There is nothing good about data centers. Not only do they consume huge amounts of our water and energy resources, but they are air, water, noise, and light polluters. Utility bills go up as our power grid is stretched beyond its capacity by what is essentially a small town being plunked down into our community. Maryland has 41 data centers. Virginia has more than 300, all on our power grid. I was talking to the man repairing our stair lift who lives in Virginia. He has to drill a new well. Our well in Drum Point went dry several years ago. I'm still not sure why this country needs 4,000 data centers. What are they going to use them for? Data centers increase utility bills, and Maryland already pays the highest utility costs in the country. Did you know that? Data centers promise to pay for improvements to the grids, but they haven't in other states. And like the technology revolution of the 80s, work is going to change drastically with the AI from these data centers. Many jobs will be lost. If elected, I will support a statewide moratorium on the construction of new data centers until their impact, both environmentally and socially, can be sorted out. This includes canceling data center zoning approvals. Maine and 11 other states are trying to do the same thing. Which brings me to sustainable development. Sustainable development means smart development. It means remembering that we live in a rural coastal paradise that can't support a lot of people and industry. Our region is at the inflection point of developing either industrially or sustainably. Industrial development brings workers to build facilities who then leave once they're built. The jobs used in selling the LNG plant to us is a paltry handful of maintenance technicians. There was an economic boom when all the construction workers were here. The hotels and office spaces were full, but they're empty now. Sustainable development encourages local businesses to grow and become the successful employers we need now. And we need good jobs here. We also need to look at how our schools are preparing our students for the workplace of the future. I support expanding opportunities for students who can't or won't go to college through certifications and apprenticeships. This means expanding our community colleges. But what about affordability? Housing, food, gas is hot right now too. While costs keep going up, wages have stayed the same for years, which brings me to taxes. Revenue from the federal government for all kinds of things has been cut. Long-term homeowners are shocked by assessments that have tripled over the past 10 years. A friend of mine registered his boat last week, and the registration fee also tripled. We need to find another source of funds. It's not just houses and cars and boats. Perhaps a modest sales tax of 1% to 2% to spread the burden. All I know is more industry is not the answer. According to the Calvert County Commissioners, while the LNG brings in $30 million a year at a huge cost to our power grid, it uses more than 230,000 gallons of our water per day. Sustainable development means conservation. Calvert and St. Mary's are united by more than that bridge. We share a water source, and its level is going down at the rate of 2 to 3 feet per year. Levels will be critical by 2030. What happens in Calvert affects St. Mary's and vice versa. Planning needs to be done on a regional basis with an eye towards water conservation. These are perilous times for our region. We need someone who is willing to fight for our best interests. Sustainable development is the key to our future. No more industry that doesn't benefit the people. Grow local jobs. Protect our environment. Vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaara. Okay, so we have a question here. We are under attack from AI. It is the big disruptor of this time. Jobs are being more and more threatened as it spreads throughout the country. St. Mary's County is not immune to AI. We can fight it and make believe it doesn't exist, or we can learn how to harness it to the betterment of all. It requires guardrails which do not exist at this time. Coming up with constructive ways to apply AI can have tremendous value to everyone. I don't like AI, but I have been using ChatGPT to analyze how it is impacting many things. Would you like to comment on guardrails for AI?
Oh, sure. They've been talking about guardrails for the internet since the internet was born. And they really haven't done anything with that other than to say that the social media is addictive for teenagers. Um, when technology came to the workplace in the 80s, it changed work, and AI is going to do the same thing. What guardrails I would suggest, I'm waving my hands. Um, the simplest would be to not allow AI in the workplace. But the problem with AI is that it's being used by the big corporations and the big banks and pretty much Zoom, getting onto the Zoom with an AI application. Uh, Short of not building data centers, I don't see any guardrails happening.
Thank you, Shaara. Um, you had, trying to remember, you mentioned waterways and St. Mary's County and Calvert sharing the same water. Would you like to expand on that just a little bit?
Sure. Um, The main aquifer that is on under Calvert, St. Mary's, and Charles too, I think, is called Aquia, Aquia. That is the main water source for residential and light commercial sourcing. Underneath that, even deeper down, is the Patuxent aquifer, which is used primarily for heavier industry. The the deeper well that Josh was talking about was very likely going into the Patuxent aquifer because the Aquia or Aquia is really only about 200 feet down. So basically, if we're running off the same water sources, a data center in Calvert is going to impact St. Mary's just as much as it impacts Calvert. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's interesting that my district encompasses both Calvert and parts of St. Mary's. Is we are united by more than one bridge, and we really need to think in terms of that in our regional planning.
Thank you so much, Shara. Appreciate your time this evening.